It is very, very, very important. I cannot stress this enough, that it's very important for you to loosen up the soil as best as you can and as deep as you can.
If I were to compare this with the hand tools and those types of things that would traditionally be used in terms of small scale farming and so forth, how does this compare?
This is a very big difference. I mean, using your hand as compared to using machinery is like you and I being in a race and you using a bicycle and I'm using a Porsche. So it's a very, very big difference. Even if you're trying to do quarter hectare by hand, you're not going to loosen it up properly and it's not going to be loosened up evenly. So I would, highly, highly suggest this. I know it's an extra bucks, but it's worth it. So first thing that you want to look at is that you want to look at your distances between your rivers,
yes,
right? So usually 450 with the sandy loamy soils. The more sandy it is, the closer you want to do the distance between the so in most soils the first compaction layer is about at like 250 centimeters.
Yes.
So you want to go deep. You want to go to 450 500 centimeters and break it up to that depth.
So does the roots actually reach that depth? Because that's like, if you put it, that's deep.
That is very deep. I mean, some of our varieties, like some of our sweet corn varieties, some of our okra, they would go to that depth. But if you got a nice deep soil that is loosened, it will go deeper. But correct, you're going to have a waterlogged area there, and because your water's not passing through and now your things are damping off, you call me and you say, no man, you sold me bad seeds. So there's these types of new technology that assist with that. So you've got some things that you change your end of your ripper here to some trip action type of things. Some of them have, if I can call it, a spring. Some use like a piston. I'm not sure if it's hydraulic or what, but then what it'll do, it hits a rock or bounce back. And
so that the whole tine basically comes back and
comes back in there,
and then it goes back into the soil. But
that's correct.
In terms of when I'm looking at selecting the piece of land that I want to plant vegetables on, I'm pretty sure that you would prefer that we stay away from the rocks and see if you can, soil is better than rocks.
Yeah, that's correct. Very, very much correct. You want to go with the, more your loamy, sandy. If you're doing root crops, you want to be more on the sandy side. But with more of your cucumbers, you want to be more your loamy clayy side. But you don't want the rocky.
The rocky, yeah. Stay away from it as far as possible.
As far as possible.
And then just the last thing, in terms of if you look at the ripper in combination with a few other soil preparation implements, what would I be doing after the ripper?
So after the ripper, because the ripper is just going to be breaking that that compact layer, you're going to have big boulders which are there. So you want to break those big boulders into smaller pieces, and that's where the next implement after this would be your rotor.